Hey all, how are you? So this time around we're gonna be cutting the raspberry and black currant, which I gotta tell you smells awesome. I love currants, and this has a really rich, heady black currant and fresh raspberry blend. Oh, that smells so incredible. Now I wonder if I'm getting these little streaks here from the cutting, so I'm gonna try and cut it sideways. See if I can eliminate that problem. Let's see. Gonna have to get my knife. Okay, I switched to my knife because my cutter is just not quite long enough. Oh wow, it's a bit of a surprise. Those last soaps I cut, the Joy, the almond chocolate and coconut, were huge. They ended up weighing about almost seven and a half ounces each. So that is a huge honking bar of soap. Really didn't mean to make them that large. I don't think it's mattering a whole lot. Got some sideways or the other way. I don't think it's making a huge difference. At least it doesn't seem to be. But I am starting to cut at a bit of an angle, so I'm gonna grab my cutting box. I won't get the slicer, I'll just use the manual big bright yellow one that I love oh so much. It's so cheap. I think I paid like $3.99 for this at Walmart, and it included a saw with it, which I'm not going to use a saw for the soaps, but came with it. Okay, I think I'm going to go for more of 1 1/8 inch slices rather than 1 1/4. I tell you, those were huge, absolutely huge at 1 1/4. So this, gosh, I'm really happy with this scent blend. Oh, I'm so bad at cutting even with the box. So pretty, smells so good. I swear I don't know how they do it. It was cool for a minute, but after a minute it started getting a little difficult. Too anal. I want the bars to all be as uniform as possible. in size. That's what I'm going for, is a uniform size. My knife a bit. So now let's finish up. Like I said, those chocolate bars I cut way too big. Those bars, honestly, they came out about 8 ounces each. So if you pick one up, you might want to cut it in half when you get it home. I'll have those. You'll be able to get those next month at, for those of you who see me in Pasadena, you'll be able to get those at the next Pasadena Rose Bowl. Or in Palm Desert, next month in Palm Desert at the College of the Desert Street Fair. I didn't want to do an all pink bar, although this is a pretty shade of pink. Probably would have come out really cool if I had made it even more pink. I like it. Love black accents in there. Now this mold that I used for these is not as big as the other one. It's my multi-chamber mold that I built, and I'll show it to you in a sec. I make lots of these multi-chambers where I have one tray almost, and it's 4 individual molds inside of one mold. They're really easy, they're really convenient, and they generate their own heat really nicely. So I really don't have to insulate them very much. Hardly at all. And they take up less space. And I also made them so that they stack nicely on top of one another. And that's the last end piece on that one. Ta-da! Okay. I'm having too much fun with this. I really am. So that was raspberry and black currant. And that particular formula is one of my lanolin formulas. I love lanolin. I don't get to use it in a whole lot of my batches because a lot of people don't like lanolin, even though it comes from the sheep's wool. The sheep are not harmed in harvesting it. The wool is cut, soaked, the lanolin, you know, floats to the top and is skimmed off. I have really dry, sensitive skin. I love lanolin. For my own products that I make for myself, I use lanolin in pretty much everything because I absolutely love it. Can't get enough of it. And so it's too bad. It's one of those oils that you don't really hear people, I don't really hear people using much anymore, which is really unfortunate because it is such an amazing and fantastic oil and super fatting agent. There was a time where the soaps that had lanolin in it were the super deluxe soaps because they give such a nice luxurious feel to the soaps. And it's a wonderful skin protectant. One last look for you. Really nice skin protectant. And you can definitely feel the difference in the lather on a lanolin soap. It's I'm telling you, it just feels like so silky and so smooth. Cleaning that up a bit. See, this is why I love having nice sharp edges at the bottom of my bars, which is why I put the plexiglass in the bottom of each mold before I pour. And again, it's just a matter of my own personal preference. I know some people like, let me show you how bad I am at cutting freehand and why I went back to the box. You see that? It looks like a wedge. I told you in the last video they were going to start to look like a triangle after a second, and that does, in fact, look like a triangle. I know my strengths and my weaknesses, and I have no problem admitting them. So my hat's off to all of those freehand cutters. Good for you. Now this is one of those incidences, of course, giveaway bars, where I wish I would have just made 4 loaves of this one. But I always test out fragrances first, which I'm sure every soaper does. Last thing you want to do is spend a ton of money making a huge batch of what you think is going to be beautiful soap, and in the fragrance oil something's wrong with it. It seizes, or the scent mutates and changes and smells awful once it's in the soap. All kinds of things can happen. So I always start off with doing one. But this one, absolutely amazing. I absolutely love it. Raspberry black currant. You gotta try it. Thanks so much for watching. Talk to you soon.